Right, hello again YouTube. Welcome back to our Kerbal Space Program. Today, we're going to be, well, we need to keep our reputation up with the tourist board, of course. So we're going to be launching another tourist mission, but this time, we're going to the moon. And we're also going to be bringing with us some more equipment that we've been bringing before. We have some new science equipment that we can bring with us and put on our rocket. We have the magnetometer, which I believe should be able to take readings basically all the way along our trip from both Kerbin's orbit to Kerbin's orbit all the way to the moon's surface. I think every biome it should be able to take a reading in, and then we're going to deploy some surface stations, which are these things. Now, we will need some storage space for this. And we're going to need a large crew because the surface stations benefit from who deploys them. I believe, yeah, better scientists, I believe, get better results out of the science stations, and better engineers get more power. So literally, one solar panel deployed by a skilled enough engineer can go from 1 power all the way up to 4. Now, I don't know who our skilled engineers are. We'll have to check that, but this is going to be a best of best mission. But that means we're going to need at least 4 crew space because we need a tourist, we need an engineer, we need a pilot, and we need a scientist. So we'll probably start with a Mark III, and we'll maybe put a smaller crew pod on top, perhaps. Have we got one of those? The Pier Station Core. Put the Proteus on top. That would give us even more space. Not that I think we need it, but it would allow us to train up another Kerbin. Alright, we'll do that. We'll bring another Kerbin with us as well, why not? Consider this a extended training mission. Right. Parachutes. We're going to need a few. We're probably quite heavy. I'm going to say 3 should be fine. Clip those in a little bit so they look a little better. Oh, come on. We'll toggle the flag off of that one because it's not in the right place. Can't really get it out of the way of those windows, but I guess that'll have to do. Right, so that'll be our lander. Oh, we also need heat shield. We'll call this this will be the R11, I think. Yes. Meet a tourist. Saying we can get another tourist contract, get another person to come with us. Right. We are now going to need storage for our, both our science equipment and our actual items that we're bringing with us. Our surface stations. That's the word. Sorry, I have real trouble thinking of things today. This could be a good, could be good for putting the science experiments in, perhaps. Science, let's see. Let's put that there and angle it out. And the rest of our science equipment could fit in here as well. Yeah. Okay, yeah, and then we'll put the rest of our science equipment in here. We will have a seismometer, our new experiment. We will have a thermometer. We'll rotate these in a minute to make them look a little better. And a barometer. And we also have space for a... We need a Science Junior somewhere. It's a really bad mount for it, though. Science Junior could go there. Why is this so enormous? Hang on. Put that in there. Put these in here, and we'll try and put one of those in there. I've never used this before because it is so big and weird in terms of shape. I'm not even sure quite what mod it's from, but... but I suppose the materials bays are always a bit awkward. Right. Right, that looks convincing enough. Let's quickly get these rotated the right way. These rotating the right way so they don't completely look sort of weirded out of place. Yeah, I like to have a little bit of aesthetics with our rockets. I like to make them look as if they at least could probably work. Usually because that means they actually will work more reliably a lot of the time. There's a reason rockets are shaped like they are, and even just roughly attempting to mimic it usually will help your thing actually work like the real thing. We'll want power. That's the wrong form factor. I guess we'll have one of those there. Yeah, that'll do it. Close that. Can also set the tank type. We probably, if anything, the bit we don't want is probably monopropellant. We don't really need that for anything, so let's actually take that out and save a little bit of weight. Because we've got reaction wheels in both those pods. We will need power. We have to do solar panels now. I'm going to use these two because I believe these are the ones that. Yeah, what do you think? Kind of neat looking, I think. Fairly low profile and inconspicuous. We do also have these now, if we need something a bit more high output. Some big solar wings. We don't have anything in particular need for that yet, but we might in future. We don't need a radio antenna because it's manned. We do next need a cargo storage unit. How much can we put in here? Oh, everything. Perfect. Right. Yes, let's see what our crew's going to be. Who are our highest ranking crewmen? Jeb's fine to run the mission. We're going to want Cambus as our scientist. We only have level 1 engineers, so we're going to need a fair few solar panel setups. But that's fine, we've got loads of space. So, we need one experiment control station to control the surface experiments. We'll have a weather analyzer. We'll have a goo monitor. We'll have a commutatron for communicating back to the Space Center. We will have a seismometer, ground slam. I think that's all of our actual experiment modules. Oh dear. Right, yep. So we have 5 things. I believe all of these require 1 power. Yep, so we'll now need 5 solar panels. Because again, low-level engineer. 1 high-enough engineer could power the whole base off of 1. But I think you can reset them up later if you want. We'll also bring an EVA experiments kit, because we have those, and we might as well. And why not? We'll bring a repair kit just in case. Since we've got space, we might as well bring stuff in here. We'll bring EVA fuel. It does add a little bit to the weight and the cost, but it's not a significant amount. Oh yeah, you can sort of clamp your vessels to the ground, because you can do things like, you can attach struts with this setup. You can actually use it to, we'll put a light in as well. You can actually attach struts with the sort of extra vehicle engineering. Right. I think that's our kit. Now, all we have to do is make the thing actually land. Yes, we still have to actually put fuel in it and things. Just a quick moment to grab a drink there. Right. So, for a moon mission, we need a total of about 6,000 Delta V at worst. And we'll need about 4,000 to get to orbit, so we need about 2,300 ideally on this lander. You shouldn't weigh too much the upper stages. My current, I think, big question is going to be landing it. So on the moon, yeah, that's not powerful enough on its own. We do 2? Yeah, that would do it. That's a low Delta V for the moon, but it should be enough to land and come back. Oh, we do need to add the weight of legs in. Now, the only thing is, it's tall and it's not very wide, so we're going to have to be quite careful of our landing spots. And because I realised at the end of last episode, oh, I didn't mean to go for electronics, I meant to go for scanners, which we don't have. We're going to have to be a little bit careful, because we can't scan our landing site, pick somewhere flat. Go for silver foil on the legs, it's not retracted. Maybe metal for the tank. Yeah, that looks alright. change the colour on anything else, I don't think. Nope. Okay. So that will be our lander. Probably not going to be a very complicated rocket, this one. We do need to also make sure we have Nelmi with us. We'll also train up another scientist? Engineer. Train up another engineer while we're here. We'll bring another one with us. Still got enough Delta V. Again, that's low Delta V for the moon, but it should be fine. Right, we need a decoupler. Do we have a 2 meter one of those? No. Okay, not on this side. What we'll do in the middle, we'll have a quick little... need to separate a little bit of a space. What you can do is add a little girder. Nice little light way to do it. And a tiny little decoupler in the middle, and then you strut it to a fairing shell beneath it. That can cover the gap. And again, you just put the couplers in the middle. The couplers, struts, even to get that nice and firmly attached so it doesn't wobble around. Right, and we need about 4K to get it off the ground into orbit. Need 2 of those and a big engine, maybe. I did not mean to do that, but tell you what, it looks good. 3,000, nearly enough. Oh, still to be like, oh, just the weight's okay. Yeah, we'll go for that then, and then we'll put on some 3 strap-ons. Should be fine. We don't need much. We need like another 1,000 Delta V. Which is going to be more than that's going to give us, though. I know that already. Yeah, that should be enough. We might need a heftier decoupler for that one, maybe. Right, so I think with those 3, not going to be the fastest launching rocket, but it should work. We're definitely going to want Septrons on this as well. And let's do our normal again. 3-point strut thing rarely lets me down. It usually keeps them in the right place and not wobbling. So we go those first, and we separate with those. So those engines separate, central stack. That should happen at the same time. Those engines separate. Parachutes, we're looking good. Oh, launch stabilizers. Fins we'll probably get away without, but I'll put 3 on just in case. Right. I believe we are go for launch. We have our tourists on board. We have our crew, including our experienced scientists and our engineers. Let's go. I'm going to land on the moon. We'll look for a flat spot, ideally one where we haven't already landed. And we'll see what we can do. We'll grab our new science readings. We should also try and remember to grab in space. Oh, that's why we need an antenna. Because we can't send our... we will revert to launch quickly because I believe if we want to send our magnetometer readings back, and I believe you can send full data back with that as we go, which you might as well because we're getting a fair bit of science on the way, we're going to need something to actually send it with. You know, I never checked this. I wonder if it's possible to send data to an orbital lab rather than send it back to Kerbin. I never really checked to see if that's possible, but I am curious now. Do a HG Communitron. Add a significant amount of weight. Feed, yeah, we want the... What we do on that one, even if it's a little bit awkwardly jutting out. That's probably better. Right. It should be okay. Aerodynamics-wise, that wouldn't be very good on the real rocket, but actually, Kerbal's usually quite forgiving, honestly. Right, we should have plenty enough. Sorry, I'm having a brain fart moment here. Are we overbuilt? No, I'm looking at the wrong number. It's like, nope, 7,400 to get back again, which we need to do because we've got a lot of crew on board. It's like, okay, yeah, no, that's right. Working as intended, it's just me. To 100, we don't go very high with this one. Right, quick save. Alright, Minotaurus, you're... Oh, hang on. Science. The seismometer. Oh. Why can we not view data? Transmit? What do you mean no usable comms devices? That's weird. Hang on. Let's add one of those little direct antennas instead, maybe then. Or as well. I don't know why it's been weird about that. Have we got the wrong type of transmitter? How far away are we going to be? We're not going to be very far off, I don't believe. Oh, that's actually a way better form factor anyway. Okay, we'll go with that. Oh, maybe we have to set a target? Come on. There we go. Right, let's try it again. See if it'll work this time. Target. Mission control. Target not in range. Target not in range? Wait. Okay, no, now we're connected. Okay. That might be what it is. That might be. Okay, well that's worked now, at least. Yeah, as I say, I believe mission control recharge your batteries. We'll test the solar panels while we're here. Use those to recharge. We might as well gain all the science we can while we're on the launch pad. We do need this data. Tricks recharging. Recharging. Airport. Oh, EVA, right. Okay. We'll also gain that. I'll just transmit the lot in one go. Transmit all science. Okay. Oh. We can't retract them. Right. What we can do... Ooh, sorry, pardon. What we can do, it's fine, is we can grab the data on the launch pad and then transmit it once we're in orbit. Ah, boy. Sorry about this, YouTube. It's Kerbal is being awkward again. Right. Mission control. Right. 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. I do love the smoke coming out of the sort of vents on the side. I always like that effect. 3 thoroughbreds kicking us up into orbit. Yeah, the game didn't have very big solid rocket boosters for a while. I have to admit, I really like Even though they're a lot larger than I ever thought I'd need for solid rocket boosts, I really like the new solid rockets they've been adding, the really big ones. I'm getting a lot of use out of them. Probably a good thing they are working too, given it's taken us about 20 minutes to get to the point of actually launching our flight properly due to technical problems. I forgot to even grab that science on the launch pad. Doesn't matter. Too late now. Doesn't matter. It's fine. If we need a bit of science, we can just quickly chuck a little brick on the launch pad with all the science equipment we have at the moment and take some readings. Alright, altitude climbing. We may end up overshooting slightly. It's kind of close. I'm not sure. If we do, we can quickly just increase the number on there. No, I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to burn out at just about the right time, actually. Hey, look at that. No collisions today. Septron's burning out. They're very high-pitched sounding. And we're good. Climbing to orbit. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it has to. It does a mech jump sticks to phys warp ×2 until you're out of the atmosphere. I guess it tries that to be a bit safer than the higher speed ones, which, to be fair, is not at all a bad assumption. Phys warp 2 is reasonably stable. The rest start to get a bit less so. Right, let's extend those, extend that. Yeah, we can take a magnometer report once we're up in space, or once it's stably in orbit. I want to do that. I don't want to do that just yet. I don't trust it to not go wrong somehow. I just want to make sure we're in orbit and not going to drop out of it. But yeah, I believe some of the real life space probes use solar panels like this. I can't I think the Crew Dragon maybe. I might be thinking of the wrong thing, but these sort of like round solar panels on a stick. I don't know quite why that's the profile they go to. Maybe it's because they fold up nicely. Gonna say any time now? Thought it was gonna kick in a bit earlier than that. Candos open that. What's this one look like on the inside? I've never actually seen the inside of this thing. The other thing we could do, I think, we have scientists on board, right? We should be able to clean out the experiments. We might be able to actually take some extra readings from the mystery goo bay and actually store the data. You should be able to store the experiments on board the ship. Thanks to Tembus here. So yeah, I'll maybe try that. We'll maybe try and grab some more science from those along the way and store the full data on board. It'll be a complicated mission compared to some of the ones we've run before, but hopefully you can see how it's sort of advancing as we go along. How all the sort of things we've sort of done so far are sort of starting to stack on top of each other a bit. Orbital velocity is increasing as expected. You sort of see what I meant about the acceleration thing. The further it gets towards being done, it'll sort of suddenly really shoot up, even though we're only in the last, like, 100 or so delta V. It's like, whoop. That's a weird noise I made, but you get the idea. Yeah, that's fine. Right, keep pointed prograde. Let's do some test runs here. So, magnetometer report. You should see. Yeah. I love that animation, the little ting 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 ting. Yeah, in fact, even better than transmitting it, I think we can store it. Tambus is the one that's got out. Excellent. Just the girl I need. Right. Right, so I think you should be able to take the data out of it. Download data. Seismic data. Oh yeah, seismic won't work while we're in space. Doi. Right. Temperature scan, I think we've already done. Yeah. Okay. So that's the mystery goo. Right. I think if he keeps it, collects the data, and then restore. Yeah. Okay, so we could take the extra data. We could actually run this in orbit, get the data from it, get the full data from it, and then clean it out again and run it again. So keep the data. Collect the data. And restore. Excellent. EVA science experiment. Don't think we can do that. I think you could do EVA science experiment, but I thought you had to be landed on a planet to do this. Excellent work, Tamba. So, mission stage 2. Take us out to lunar orbit. And we could do the same thing again. We could take data in high orbit, take it out, restore everything, store it away, repeat, basically. Low orbit as well, and then literally on the surface with the addition of the seismic center. This will clean up a lot of the science that we sort of haven't been necessarily picking up along the way. A lot of the stuff we sort of missed, as it were. Still ended up with a bit of minor propellant from something. Might as well use it. I was thinking we wouldn't need it, but I hadn't thought of like, oh yeah, we'll be a little bit slow maneuvering. We seem to have some... Oh, you know what it is? It's probably that one. Yep. Oh, well, that's fine. We've saved the weight of having extra in the other tanks. Seeing as our usage rate is quite low, we've got just enough to make a little extra use of it in our maneuvers. And even save a bit more fuel, because that will... If the weight of that goes down, we get more Delta V for free, basically, because we've lost mass. We're not moving as much around. We'll probably retract the doors on landing with the only other thing. But we'll take some side spec readings on the way down, on the way to land on the moon as well. But we'll just keep them and recover them and restore them when we're on the surface. Might have to do a bit of jetpacking around. That's part of the reason I bought the extra fuel. If one of our Kerbins ends up stranded on the surface, they can swap the fuel tank out and continue to, well, actually be able to return to the rocket. Because you might notice I haven't even bothered with a ladder. That's partly because I forgot about it, and partly because, honestly, it's easier usually just to jetpack into your rocket. And to risk Kerbal's dodgy ladders. Ah. Could potentially take even more science if we pass over new biomes, but it's fine. Not going to worry about that. We're just going to get ourselves out to the moon. We might do, we might gather some more science at Kerbin's high orbit, though, because I believe we can repeat the experiments there as well. So again, lots of opportunities to gain science on the way with this mission. And that is the whole point of it, so... We'll try and get that actual scanning tech. I think it would be helpful to have that. We'll maybe try and scan Mimus and the moon at some point. So we have proper readings on what material's down there, what the surface is like. I think you can see how rough the surface is, maybe? Maybe look for flat spots, I think. Should be good. Right. Okay, so I think we're at just high orbit now. Just a magnetometer report, huh? I don't know if it's high orbit or a different biome, but either way, we'll grab the data. Cool. Can we just do collect data? No, I think a scientist actually has to be able to go out there and grab it. Ambush, you're up again. You might be thinking, oh, are we going to drift off into space if we, if I do this while we're still going? Well, no, because as long as we're not accelerating, we'll be moving at the same speed relative to the rocket when we get out. So we don't have to worry that... If I got out while we were burning, we would absolutely drift off and be stuck. Okay, I guess we've actually gained all the data from high altitude. That probably won't be the case with the moon. So what we'll do is we'll very quickly gather everything, and then we'll immediately drop our altitude back down again. We should have a bit of time before before we would actually collide with the surface to do that, even if it's a bit nerve-wracking. Right, we're going to be quick. Because, oh, pardon. Again, this flipping cough. Keep the data. Magnetometer report. Yeah, the other thing with the magnetometer is pretty high science values. You actually gather quite a lot with this thing. It's a little awkward because it only works in space and it's big, but yeah, the actual output is well worth it. Here, report. Okay, nothing new here. Right. Download the data. Can we check the mystery goo? Yeah, I was going to say I thought we'd have some more data to go. Click the data. Store. I was going to say I thought it's not showing it, but I thought we would have some more potential science from that. Right. Put ourselves into 100 orbit. 2 power-ups. Again, I've, in theory, budgeted this mission according to the Delta V chart I found. I've had a very good one. It's not the standard one necessarily, but it's got like the maximum and minimum fuel values that you will probably need to get places, or Delta V values. Which means I kind of know where the high end of the budget needs to be. They could vary quite a lot. Lathe, I noticed, varies between 11,930 to 17,185. So yeah, a variation of about 6,000, which is a lot. Like, Moho goes between anywhere from 13,000 to 20,000 as well. It's even more so. Where's Elu that we're going to? Elu that we're going to for a round trip also varies quite a bit. About 12,000 to 17,000 roughly. So yeah, you have to be a bit careful because it can. You might not need very much at all. You might need a lot, and unfortunately, I think the thing that it depends upon a lot is basically how good you are at planning it manually. Considering I'm basing it on MechJeb, who knows where it'll bring you out. And also it does rely on a load of other things like where every other planet happens to be and whatnot. When another planet gets in the way, that can screw things up, of course. Right. Sectorize that periaps. Should probably allow it to auto stage as well. All the way down to stage 2, not 0. So if it needs to activate the next stage, it can do that mid-burn or mid-landing. And might even ditch the big fuel tank before we even try the landing. Because while we'll lose a bit of fuel, I have absolutely seen MechJeb completely screw up landings just because the engine changed midway and it hasn't accounted for it properly. So I'll be like, oh, we'll easily have enough time to land. It's like, yes, on that engine, for half the burn, yes, you will. On those engines, no, you won't. But you will not have enough fuel to land. You will not have, well, fuel you'll have maybe, but time you won't. It'll put your landing too near the ground, and you'll just smash it to the ground and explode. But basically every other part of the landing process we can do now. Where do we have flags? First moon landing site and secondary. I think we forgot to put a flag down. No, it was Mimas. I think it was Mimas where we forgot to put a flag down on the first landing site. Either way, if we were to go back out again, we'd have more to put there. This rocket should be good for a Mimas landing as well, I think. Yeah, Mimas is actually a bit easier. So we maybe next session, next recording will even... Well, next recording will be something a little different. I think I might record a bit of a... You know, if you guys that said the channel maybe saw I did a recording through of IORC, which is the first game I've released. I might maybe do a bit of a playthrough through the second game I've released, which is, it'll have a lot more to do in terms of voice acting and things, because there's a lot of dialogue in that game. So that'll probably be what I'll be recording next. And God, save my throat kind of thing, because it's going to be hard on it. Right. I don't know what the moon's flat surfaces are, so we're going to be eyeballing this. That looks reasonably good. This bit here, maybe specifically, which I've now lost visually. Is the lowlands. I believe that is... So that's the Midlands. That's a big crater. So we will stay with our landing site in the lowlands. It looks very flat. I can't see any obvious angling from space. We may have to do some emergency maneuvers, depending on how flat it actually turns out to be. Got a little pulse to kick us away from that. Any science to be gained here? No. Really? I guess some of those only work once. I thought there would be more at a lower orbit. Oh, maybe we're not at low orbit yet. Yeah, we might not be. Actually, I think low orbit around the moon might be 80. No, wait, it's just wrong. There just is data here. Okay, it looks like we're running the experiments manually. That one's not going to do anything. There is nothing there. Nothing there. Mystery goo? A little bit of data we can keep from that. A lot of data we can keep from that. This might be stuff we've already gathered. It might just be doubling up, and I think if it does double up, you just don't get anything. That was interesting. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Right. Up. She needs to be closer to the... go, download data. Needs to be closer to the boot to connect the data. Collect data and restore. It might be the same stuff we've already gathered. That might be why it's not showing up again. But again, it won't hurt. Yeah, the episodes are running on a bit longer than I planned originally, but hey, if it turns out... Yeah, we do already have the data. That's why it's not showing up again. But yeah, the episode might end up running a bit longer than planned. Maybe they'll be between 40 and an hour. That's fine. I don't really mind that. If that's just how it works out and that works out better, then that's how we do it. We've lost our landing site. Dang it. Tell you what. Looks like a very small crater there. It's still in the lowlands. Hopefully this will be nice and flat. Land at target. Oh boy, here we go. Here comes All Reliable, Next Order land. Which for those who don't know is sort of mixed. Usually it's pretty good, occasionally it will screw things up. Yeah, deploy landing gear, do not deploy parachutes. That's right. Electric power we have plenty of. How much do we lose in night time? Quite a bit. Hopefully we'll get back into sunlight before it needs to do whatever its burn is. Yes. Okay, cool. Turn the RCS off. Just rely on the reaction wheels now. Oh, there's our booster. Drifted 400 meters away, but we apparently didn't move away from it very quickly. I think it's going to drift a lot more now. There it goes. They do a tiny change in space and the rest of it just wanders off without you. I believe it should be doing this maneuver in daylight, which is obviously ideal. You can do landings at night. I really don't recommend it. I've got connection back to ground control. That's nice. Close. That's what I was going to do. Actually, we'll leave it open for now because we might want to take that magnetometer reading, but we will close it before we try and do the actual landing. Right, it's going to be a bit of a slow burn. We do have a lot of fuel, but these rockets are not tremendously powerful. We've only got a rate of we've got a thrust to weight ratio of less than 2, and we're landing on the moon, which is very low for what we normally have. There's a good view though there for you. Maybe a thumbnail if I can remember to actually grab the shot and edit it. It's something I keep thinking I need to do a bit more with these videos. I need to grab proper thumbnails. So getting used to remembering to do all that stuff. How are we looking for our actual... Interesting. Oh, it is moving there. I guess maybe it slows down first and then adjusts the actual landing spot. But yeah, I dread to think how much more difficulty I'd have had with this game over the years if I didn't have the didn't have MechJib at all. Much as I complain about it sometimes, it can be a bit of a pain. Who boy does it actually save some effort and time. And of course, a bit of practice and learning how to do it manually, I'm sure would work. I'm just not interested in it, basically, is all it is. Yes, in theory, we're coming in to land in a small crater in the lowlands. Small crater should mean not large enough to be rough on the inside, but we'll see how that actually pans out. Who knows, maybe there'll be a giant boulder in the middle of it and we'll land smack bang on top of it. There are some anomalies on the moon that we can go visit at some point. I believe there are scanners that can detect them. So we might go and visit some of the anomalies. I know what one of them is, or two of them are. I think there might be more. There's certainly more around the sort of Kerbal system in general. I think we've seen the monolith, or you probably spotted the monolith on the map at the Space Center. There's a sort of 2001S monolith with Squad's logo on it. Quite a cute little addition. I can't remember if Squad still make it or not. I think some of the... no, it's Private Division now, isn't it? I think. Yeah, I think they got taken over by someone. I remember there was a big fluff about it. Kerbal's developers, there was a lot of people not happy about the way some aspect of like the handover was handled, and I don't blame them. I remember it being a bit like scummy feeling. I think it might have been one of these like legally all fine, morally things, but I'm not quite sure. Again, it's been a little while. I don't remember entirely. Something like a load of people got fired and then rehired or something. Or they sort of stole the workers away, offering them more money or something. It's like, But either way. Either way, the main thing with Kerbal I'm looking forward to is still the second one. I think the first one, I think they said, is not going to get much more support at this point. It's still got some, but it's pretty much done, I think, in terms of where they wanted to be at. Of course, video game developers have said that before and then still decided later on, hey, you know what, it'd be nice to have this, but target difference. Look at that. 8 or 9 meters. What's that for precision? Have that up in case it does find some new science experiments on the way down. I guess it'd be one of these little micro craters, but... Oh wow, and it's starting its the orbiting burn all the way up here, huh? Or landing burn all the way up here. You know what? Since I think it's going to be about 6 minutes, and since this episode's already running on pretty long, we'll actually do a no, we won't do a two-parter. I was thinking we'd do a two-parter, but it's like, wait, now I've got to record Sel Quinta. We shall instead pause recording here, and I will cut back to you guys when we're just about to land. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, and we're back. We're nearly at ground level. I actually think we've got lucky. Well, lucky. I mean, I did plan it a little bit, but I think we're coming down over a nice flat spot. At least, as flat as the moon gets. It's obviously a bit lumpy, but I think we've actually managed to find specifically quite a flat spot. So here's hoping we land and we don't fall over immediately. If we do, we have a problem. We have a little bit of monopropellant left, so we might be able to thrust ourselves back over. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to close that for the moment. We did get I think you guys probably saw, we did manage to get a magnometer report midway down. You probably saw it just pop up a second before I paused the recording. So I've taken that. It's about 100 science or something. It's actually pretty good still. I don't think there was any other experiments on the way down. There might have been one. I forget. Well, I think it was this. I think it was EVA report, which I'm like, we're accelerating. That's not a good idea. We really don't want the Kerbal falling off the rocket. The parachutes don't work out here. Now, one thing I recommend, actually, I was thinking about this. Obviously, we have our cargo storage unit, right? And we have spare space. Oh my god, Mech, you gave me a heart attack there. Make sure you do have a spare spot somewhere, because by default, the Kerbal's get a parachute and an EVA pack. But you need space to put these in. To actually move them around. If you don't have any space, it can be really awkward to actually put them anywhere. Jesus Christ, Mech, Jeb. What the heck was that? You came down so hard. That was really... That was dreadful. That's the hardest I've ever seen it do a landing. What's that? Not only is that the hardest I've ever seen it do a landing, it's also completely screwed us because we've landed on the side. It's like the smoothest ground I've ever seen and it's still screwed it up. Right, great. What the heck do I do now? In my propellant left. Do we have to lift ourselves? No. What do we do now? Mechjeb, why? Why did you have to... Why did it do that? I've never... Okay, look. Mechjeb's auto landing is not very good, okay? I have never seen it decide to time warp at the last second and then screw it up like that. Okay. We'll roll with this. I know I normally say revert, but I think actually I don't know where our last revert is. So we'll roll with this. We're on our side. Not ideal. What we might be able to do is roll our way up to that hill and use that as a rocket launching spot. So we'll stay on our side for the moment. We still have one working solar panel, so we still have power. And we'll see what we can do. But yeah, that was not very good at all. I've never seen it screw up that badly. Right. First things first. Oh, that actually collected the data. Okay. Oh, can we use that to push us? Oh, hello. Other way. Ahaha! We have... Oh, yeah, it might fall over. But we have a bit of a portable... No, do not break the solar panel. We need that. We have a bit of a portable tripod stand. That could be good for taking off with, actually. We might be able to use that to give ourselves a bit of a kick off the surface. We'll have to be careful with that, though, and I will definitely be doing some... Right, deploy all except EVA. That's what we want. Pressure gauge is sitting there motionless. The goo is less dense. Moon dust is getting in the samples. Temperature recorded. We've detected a small seismic quake. That's our seismic sensor. And crew report. Crew report. Collect all. Oh, command pod magnetometer report removed. Oh, maybe we can only store one at a time? I'm not sure on that. We'll have to see what data we actually come back with. Yeah, the other thing we potentially could use to help launch is the magnetometer. Either way, we collected all of the data, I believe. So, our next step... Tambus. Savior of our mission so far. Right. She is going to start deploying some stuff. Yeah, there's a rip solar panel. Oh, we have a repair kit. We could maybe even repair the other... yeah, we could repair the other panel with our engineer. I think. Depends if he's high enough level, but I think we might be able to even repair that broken panel as well. Which we might even do before we take off. If we can get into a stable enough launching position. Oh, need to lose the jetpack as well. Okay. Yeah, they do have an actual like storage size. You can't carry certain parts. I'm going to start the experiment set up here. We'll have her actually start deploying it once she's... Oh yeah, automatic, I guess. Weather analyzer. Like I say, she is the one that should be deploying the science modules, and then we'll switch to an engineer to deploy the power and fix that panel. The goo observer. Now, these parts don't have to be like physically connected, but they do have to be reasonably close to each other to function. I don't know what the actual distance is, but I've never had trouble with it being too far away at any rate. That is the communications antenna. So this, I believe, should, as long as we have a signal, allow us to send data back to Earth. Or Kerbal, even. Seismic sensor. I believe this actually impacts, or detects impacts with the ground. Like stuff actually, like your rockets, actually crashing into the moon's surface. And can take science data from it. The rest are the solar panels. Let's do a EVA science. EVA science is a fun thing, by the way, I should mention, because it is this. Whee! Oh, the little wave! I didn't know she did that. It was really cute. The new situation has not improved their creativity. Off-world sporting is a go. Rather spectacular shots and real estate prices are currently still a bargain. Nice. Right. Have your parachute back in case we need it. And you can have your jetpack back, which we very much might need. We'll have the engineer put out the lights and things. As well as the solar panels. Moon gravity is low enough that your jetpack can still propel you around, so... Alright, Bill. Chief Engineer Bill. You get to plant the flag as well. I don't know whether we have to manually tell it to transmit the science or whether it just ticks in over time. Third moon landing site. Despite being a good site, MacJeb, in a rare display, goofed the landing. This could still be a good place to come back to, but might be worth considering manual landing training for the crew or future missions out here. Or potentially turning off MechJeb's auto warp when it gets that close to the ground, because I've never seen it use auto warp that close to the surface. I'm sure that's what screwed it up. Okay, well, we'll swap your EVA thing out for your parachute. Nope, can't do that apparently. Okay. Parachute in the box then. Right. First of many. Solar panel. Solar panel. Solar panel. Rotating to face the right direction. Solar panel. Yeah, they're all moving to track the sun. And the last solar panel. Oh, we might have to have Tambus come out and actually activate the science equipment if it's not already activated. I can't remember if it actually makes a difference or if it's just the that the engineer can't or what, but the work light go there. There we go. Yeah, that's everything. So he can now re-enter the... Oh, no he can't. He hasn't got a jetpack. He just did a big jump instead. Oh, Bill. He'll be alright. Disable part. Oh, they might already be active. It might be that they already automatically activate. Let's check them quickly. Yeah, okay, they're good. Powered. 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 Power available. Oh, total power available 10. Really? Is he leveled up at some point then? Total power needed 4. Huh. Ceremony's collected 2. Really? What? Connected. Connected. Situation invalid. Oh! Okay. Weather analyzer. We're on the moon. I didn't think of that. The weather analyzer doesn't work. There's no weather. Right. Okay. No, you know what? Checks out. Makes sense, actually. Right. What we'll probably do... We'll do a quick save, obviously. We'll try and roll the rocket up onto that hill. We'll retract the landing legs in this. We'll retract the solar panel, so it doesn't break. We'll use the legs and this to try and get ourselves a bit of a tripod, try and get us pointed up that direction. And then we should be able to launch and then have Mechjeb take over and bring us into a proper ascent. So, we will set everything up. That should be fine. Quick save. Oh, I didn't need to do that yet. Oh, shoot, we can't retract the solar panel. We're going to have to either carefully sort of roll over it or... This might be a problem. Yeah, I forgot about that. We can't retract it. Can we tripod up from here, maybe? A little bit of extra kick. I think a work light might be about to get annihilated. Oh boy. Quick save time. This is very Kerbal. We've literally put down that light today and we're already about to incinerate it on the moon. Alright. So we are go for emergency recovery launch. 3, 2, 1, go. Up, up, up. Up, damn it. Hey. Active. Are you going, Mechjeb? Who's to think it is? Okay, Mechjeb's clearly not working today. Up. Don't worry about the rest, just up. I know our thrust weight isn't very high, but just bring us upwards. You can do it. Yeah, legendary scuffed moon landing. They'll remember this one as, I'm sure. We have... Why do we have no orbital path? What the heck? That's weird. Something odd's going on here. I should be able to see our orbit line. Shouldn't be possible to hide it, should it? Hang on. I'm going to pause the recording again. Sorry, this one's running on for a bit, but I'm going to see if I can work out what's going on there, and I'll get back to you guys. Alright, we're back. I did a quick save. I did a quick load. I did the launch again, exactly the same way. I can now see our orbital path again. I don't know why it vanished. I don't have a clue what happened there. But we'll launch it again. Seems to be working this time. So we'll assume that something weird just happened. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what had happened, but that was... I still appreciate that takeoff. That was fun. Even if it decided to bug out halfway for some reason. But yeah, Mechjeb seems to be working now. It's actually steering us. I don't know what happened. I guess something code-wise fell over and it bugged out a bit, but... I looked from the little bit of research I did quickly. Some people did say, Let's go for 20. That should be fine. Some people did say when you land, it deletes your the nav pool. Disengage. It's up to 20. There we go. Or not your nav pool. It deletes your. Or it doesn't delete, but it doesn't show your orbital path. So maybe because of our slightly odd takeoff, it thought we had still landed. We were sort of dragging our landing legs as we took off. Anyway, oh. Okay, yeah, it did capture the tourist. Oh, we forgot to get the tourist out. We forgot to let him out and have a wander. Oh, well, we'll assume he did that in the meantime while the actual scientists were setting up their science station. Still, he's seen something that not many other Kerbals can claim to, I'll bet. We do have to recover him before we get paid, though, so we're not quite done here yet. As I said, this episode ran on a bit longer than expected, but I think I just had to run it like that. And, oh boy, has this recording been broken up with stuff. Someone coming in saying, what do they want in a sandwich for lunch? I'm not really going to complain about being asked things like that, but the timing's not the best, perhaps. Right. 20,000. We're doing a very tight orbit, but that's fine. We're only going to be returning to Kerbin. Fuel's a little bit limited. I think we should still have enough, but... in theory, our landing is 99% parachute, but we will need a little bit left to adjust our path before we actually touch down. And we will indeed... we'll send the engineer, one of the engineers, maybe a different one. I think we've got 2 on board. Yeah, we'll send Frotop out. He's one of the, I think one of the first-gen Space Camp, or Space Jank members. We'll send him out to repair the broken panel. I'm not certain on this. Don't quote me, but I believe you get experience for them for doing their job, so... he can put some of the stuff they learned into practice. See if we can fix up those broken parts. He'll have to ditch his parachute temporarily, but considering we'll be in orbit around the moon, I don't think that would have made much difference anyway. But it's been interesting, this playthrough. I've been getting to do a lot of things that I wouldn't have done normally. I'm going to try a lot of new things. That was surprisingly helpful, because I've had rockets fall over on the moon before, and normally they're just stuck. Having this to form that sort of tripod mount and actually be able to take off, not something I'd originally planned on, but very useful. I'm sure in real life NASA probably could have locked those half open as well and built get this up with a real rocket. I mean, it probably would have smashed itself trying to take off with a real one, but you get the idea. I'm sure if you had full control over it, you could probably like half open them to get a better tripod shape. Right. So, take the EVA repair kit. Swap it out for the parachute. There's the panel in question, Frotop. There's a lot riding on you here. Right, so... repair. One kit repaired. Hey! Okay, so he uses the kit up. I didn't know that, but he uses the kit. We'll give him his parachute back in case landing goes awry. Cool. He lands and he can extend that panel. Yeah, so bringing a couple of repair kits along on future missions, probably not a bad idea at all. Oh, okay, I guess it came out of the top module. Oh, that's interesting. What's going on there? It's like, Frotop, you fixed it, but you appear to have forgotten the actual panels. However, it is reading as having power. Huh. I'm going to rotate that so they're both in range of the sun, but... interesting. I guess you can repair it, but the game doesn't quite know how to handle the models. I don't know if that's because it's modded or what, but... either way, it is functionally working, and I will take visually broken, but it is doing its job over the other way round. Right. Return from a moon. 50, just drop us straight down. Probably going to be at night, but that's fine. It's not going to use too much fuel. Here we go. Yeah, it's still rotating. It's working in every way except that the solar panels are missing. Model isn't loaded properly, I guess. Might be something where if you load it back into the game, it would show back up again. But yes, having a few repair kits on board for future missions, I don't think a bad idea at all. Especially for long-range missions, because you never know when stuff will go wrong. Speaking of, like now, when we can't do the maneuver because it's nighttime and we have no power. Okay. It's manual time. We're going to simply use that maneuver that will be done in daylight, and then we'll just drop the periaps. This has been quite the saga. I knew this would be a bigger mission than some of the ones we'd had so far. I did not realise it was going to go quite like this. But on the other hand, we should be bringing back quite the bounty. It should be worth it, and at the very least it should pay for itself. So at the very least we haven't lost anything. Or at least I think it pays for itself. I didn't actually check the cost. Let's probably check what this rocket actually cost to launch, but I believe it will pay for itself, and we'll be able to reuse it on Minmus, but much easier. Should be much less flaff coming back from Minmus. Maybe more batteries would be a good idea, seeing as it runs out quite quickly. Depending on how heavy it is on landing, maybe we could even add an extra battery as a collar between those two pieces. It shouldn't add too much weight. It should look alright, so we'll maybe do that. But we'll see how it goes. Our main goal, of course, is going to be these wonderful astronauts back alive. I think everyone's contributed here. Jeb did his cool landing. Bill set up the solar panels. Tambus did a lot of science work. Poor Nelmy didn't do... now we got to go see the moon and live through a real-life Apollo 13 equivalent, practically. Was it 13 that went wrong? Whatever the one that went wrong in orbit was. And Frotop did the in-situ repairs, so good work, team. Sure, it'll be champagne all around when we get back, or whatever the Kerbal equivalent of is. Tell you what. Do that manually so that we actually land in daylight. Perhaps 20. Yeah, that'll do it. Quick save. Execute next node. You're nearly home, fellas. Just one more orbit. 17 days. Wow, they're up there for a little while then. Luckily not us, but they will be. Still got the sun. We've even got a signal sometimes. The Wi-Fi in space is patchy. Pre-download all your YouTube vids, guys, if you're going to go out there, I think. Yeah, I wonder if he's like what if he's doing what I'm doing? I wonder if he's like recording this for YouTube. Looks like he's having fun, whatever it is he's doing. You can see them all in there. They've got 2 of them in there? I thought there was 3. There's 2 up front. Yeah, isn't that a 3-man pod? Oh, it is a 3-man pod. It's the camera angle. I couldn't see the other one. I was going to say, I thought there was more of them in there. Right. Shrinking. Okay, I think I've got to pause recording again there, but we're nearly there. There'll only be one more jump cut, so I'll see you guys again in a minute. Alright, and post-bacon sandwich, I am now back from lunch, and we're ready to finish off this mission. Like I say, this was ran on for a little bit longer than expected, even longer than the others, but again, I think I'm just going to resign myself to a mission an episode, if not potentially splitting them into more, even on later, longer missions. It'll depend a bit on what we're doing. Short stuff, probably going to aim for about 40 minutes at any rate. And again, if it runs on a bit, it runs on a bit. Yes, it looks like it's working as intended. Our orbital path is starting to get a bit messy looking, but hey, it works. We're still connected to both Duna and Eve. And if our reorbital path would actually go that far, we'd actually go back to the moon, so we're doing well. We've got all this way to end up back where we started, except, of course, the atmosphere is going to get in the way, so we're not actually going to return all the way to the moon. Right. And we shall, for sake of simplicity, smart ass point us backwards. Warp helper. Take us to atmospheric entry. We're just going to burn full retrograde, dump all the rest of our fuel, and then ditch the engines. We can't retract the solar panels, so they're going to be broken again. But they did the job of keeping us in power on the way back, which, as we saw, was a bit of an issue, considering we were going to get overshadowed by the moon. The sound has failed on the engine, so I guess that is a recurring bug, that the sound goes on the rocket boosters after a while. Yeah, no sound at all. They're definitely... something's gone wrong. What is this? I guess that's a texture bug. That's interesting. Like a square of ground that's loaded in properly there, or is loaded in too well. Okay, engine's burned out. Off. The coupler sound works fine, it's just the engines. Oh, that's burning up. Oh, it's actually breaking up entirely. Yeah, there goes the solar panels. Oh, we're drifting a little bit. Keep us retrograde. Yeah, Jeb, you have permission to, to override that a little bit. That was looking a little bit weird. We're coming in pretty fast. I hadn't really noticed that, but we are actually coming in quite fast, about 3,000, but we've got a very wide, flat surface. We should shed that speed quite quickly. We burned up quite a lot of ablator. I think a small heat shield will probably burst at this speed, although it might be burning less quickly. I think the small ones have 100, but again, I don't know. Their heat shedding would probably work differently because I've got a smaller surface area. But yes, most heat shields are only one use because indeed they are designed to burn up partly. That's what takes away some of the heat. Hope the tourists enjoyed the trip anyway. He's had a heck of a ride. Where are we going to land? Over land, it looks like. It looks like he's not going to have to learn to swim. Set their spread angle to max so they're not in the way of the main chute. Again, not that it actually matters stat-wise, but for the visuals of it, you know. Like I say, aesthetic. Aesthetic rocket. I don't know how much we weigh, but it shouldn't be so much that we can't land with these chutes and... Shoots out. And we ready descend. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be a crew report we can take at this point. I can see my house from here, I think. Alright. I guess there are other houses on Kerbal somewhere, but as far as I'm aware, they're not modelled. Mountain range there. I think we're going in on these sort of plains. Of course, we definitely planned this landing site ahead of time. We definitely knew where we were going to come down, of course. Anyway. Come up a little bit. Yeah, we're not set to go off until about 1,000, so we've got a little bit of a wait. We may be landing in a tree. We are coming down fairly quickly still. It's not as bad as an area, it's sort of 200, but... Oh, yeah, we might have smacked the ground quite high if we hadn't left them at 1,000. Probably a good thing I didn't touch that. Yeah, 5.4 though, we're fine now. Yeah, look at that, those chutes actually just about have enough space for each other. Excellent. I probably shouldn't whistle into the mic. I don't know if that actually sounds right. We're nearly there. We've landed by a small plant. Oh, there we go. That's all worked out for the best, I think, in the end. Crew report. Take that. Right. So, let's recover the craft and see what the damage is. Now, by that I mean, let's see what we actually brought back. Did we bring a significant payload back? Was it hundreds? Did we only get to keep some of the experiments? I'm genuinely not sure. I think, if anything, we've probably taken the ones from ground level on the moon. Although I don't know how many of the others have stacked or not. Should have a few hundred, I think, at any rate. I think we'll have enough for that relay science. Relay? What do I mean? Scanning. Oh, wow. Okay, no, I think we kept most of it. 850. We're now up to over 1,000 science. Excellent. 738 funds recovered from the craft. Aha! Frotop leveled up. He did indeed level up those repairs. Taught him something valuable. Deployed search report. Ah! I guess that's what it's given us so far. 54.7 out of 180. Just had a great time. Hey! Oh, there we go. He enjoyed it. Despite the trials and tribulations, he had fun with it. I suppose it would be kind of fun in some ways. It'd be partly terrifying, but partly like, oh, cool, I'm on a space adventure. There are adventure things happening. I guess we could go all the way up to 1,000 thing. Have the 4 trillion antenna and just never worry about getting a signal to anywhere ever again. I don't think that's what we'll be going for, but it's certainly an option. I think we're probably going to take... Scan it. We could probably... Oh, we could go straight into IRSU. We might well do that. That would be a very useful thing to have this early. We could also go into like very heavy rocketry, experimental. We'll take the scanning thing anyway, because that's one thing I've been saying about. We'll take that. It gives us another experiment, which I believe is for water, I believe that's meant to scan. Oh, this is atmospheric, so maybe you can use it in the atmosphere as well. The Sentinel telescope, which I think can, yeah, it could scan for resources. Always helpful. Oh, that's not Sentinel. Yeah, Sentinel's the one that can scan asteroids and things. But anyway, we'll take that. And we'll decide what we want to do with the next 500 later on. We could even have ion engines. Some little ion probes buzzing about the place. I don't know yet. But anyway, hopefully you've all enjoyed this rather long episode. And while it won't be Kerbal, I will see you all again next time. Bye-bye.